Well, good afternoon. Hello. Are you all comfortable? You look very packed in. You sort of didn't expect this number. I don't think I've got enough pieces of paper. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. I've been specially brought on at this point because you've all had your lunch, and at this point, your stomach is digesting the food, and it takes the power away from your brain. Do you know all about this medical condition? And it means that in the next hour and a half, each one of you has to have a little sleep. Okay, and that's fine. You know, I'm ready for that. As long as it's not more than half of you. Okay, so if somebody is sort of next to you and you think they've slept for too long, then you do this and you say, "It's my turn," and you collapse. I guess you've come to this because this sort of event. It's very nice to be here. Sorry, my name's Tom Taylor. I'm from UK, and yes, that's enough really. Now, it's going to be interesting. Yes. Okay. You always want to sort of, when you go back to work or back home, somebody says, "Was it any good?" Doesn't it? You know, you get that question. Was it worth going? See, and you always sort of are stuck for an answer. Well, here's your answer. Okay. On PowerPoint, if you press the B button, it goes black, and if you press the W button, it goes white. Did you know that?
No.
See? So, that's a bit of, see, geeks. I got you there. Anyway, that's a bit of functionality. So you'll be able to say, well, the one thing I did learn is the B and W buttons. We've come for this. Now, could you just sort of, do this a bit, sort of get relaxed? Because you know about thinking, it's about your brain, isn't it? But it's funny, isn't it, how you do this in order to get your brain relaxed. So if you want to do a bit of that, okay? This is, it's actually about avoiding being creative until you really need to be, and then bring it on, okay? So it's for managers of projects, which I'm assuming quite a lot of you are, and it's their teams, and I'm assuming that quite a lot of you are team players and team members. Even if you're project managers, you're members of teams. So this is a little bit about how do I contribute my own creativity at the right time as a team member, but also as a manager, how do you use that incredible talent which you've got in your team? Is that okay? Do you know what this statue is? Do you know what it's called?
Thinking David.
The Thinker. Sorry? The
Thinking David.
Thinking David? No, I think it's just called The Thinker. But it's somebody thinking, isn't it? It's a classic. Could you do that? You do that, don't you? Yeah. It's by Rodin. Sorry, that's how you say it in English. If you're in French, he's French, so you say Rodin. Like that, don't you? You've got to get the words right for this sort of thing. Anyway, so we're going to talk about this sort of stuff. Are you ready? Are you ready? Sorry. So I'm in Estonia. Sorry, I'm stupid. Right, are you ready? Yeah, sorry, just nod slightly. Okay, right. So, here's a project, and there's various things coming in to this project, various issues around it, okay? As they come up, I want you to shout them out, okay? They're all in English, they're words, you probably know them. So you ready? And we'll all do this together. All right, this is Estonia, it's a challenge, I know, okay? But if you can't do this, then we have to keep doing it until you get it right. Okay, ready? Here we go. So, challenges, opportunities, issues. Louder. Yeah, lots of problems. Does that sound like your sort of jobs? Yeah? And does that mean pressure? All those things on the team? Well, what we're going to do is did you see what happened there? I'll do it again, right, because it's quite clever, right? There was pressure, all the arrows coming in. I put creativity, and the arrows went the other way.
How smart.
And that's the end of the talk. Thank you very much. I'll see you next year. Well, we'll carry on. What are these problems that need creativity? They're the real life problems. They're the problems which make a project. If there weren't any problems, there wouldn't be any projects. Life would be dull, civilization wouldn't move on, society would be unimpressed. We have problems. And that's the big problem, we call that. And then as you're doing the project, problems arise during the project, don't they? Extra problems. So you have this plan. Do any of you write lists at all of things to do? And is that all you do? And at the end of the day, you go home because the list is finished? No, there's other things arriving all the time. And then there's problems with people. Do you have people involved in any of your projects? God, it's awful, isn't it? If we could just get rid of the people, wouldn't it be a lot easier? So, with people, and then we have managers. We set ourselves problems, don't we? We do stupid things like think ahead. And then when we think ahead, we don't go, oh, now I've thought about it, it's going to be easy. You think, oh, more problems. So there's a lot of problems around, and therefore we need to solve problems. And I'm a project manager, and I will get a budget or a fee. It depends what I'm working. And I generally sort of split the budget in half. And I say, well, half of it I'm going to spend on administration, bureaucracy, the route. We call it the route, keeping people on the route, defining the route, programs, work breakdown, all sorts of sensible stuff. And it's an on-cost to the project. And then we've got this other bit that we do as managers, project managers. And we save some of this stuff for creativity and thinking and leadership. And if we do that right, we'll save our own fee. And we'll probably save other fees and other costs. And we'll stop jobs going too far. You know those jobs that are cancelled, stopped, reviewed? They should have been stopped, cancelled, reviewed earlier, shouldn't they? What happened? We were too busy doing the first one to not have time doing the second one. So sometimes people try to squeeze our fee. Ooh, we don't pay that much. We don't want that much resource. And we say, so which one shall we sacrifice? And they say, well, can't we have them both? And we go, no, you want them both. That's the full fee. And they say, well, we'll do the administration and bureaucracy and you can do the thinking. And we said, you better do it because we'll depend on you. And sometimes they say, you do the administration and we don't need any creativity because we don't need those sorts of project managers. And we'll say, in that case, you're talking to the wrong people. And we'll find you some administrative project managers. I'm going to put you in 4 groups. The first 2 rows here, you're one group. 3 rows there, you're another group. 3 rows there, you're another group. 2 rows here, you're another group. Okay? You are group, well, A. What about group A? Okay? There's group A. I'll explain what it's about in a minute. You're group B. Okay? Whoever's holding this may have to hold it up at due points. If you don't want to hold it, then give it to somebody else who looks silly. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to give you these problems to think about because, you're all double units. You can show it to your group, okay? And I'll explain them, okay, what they are. Because you're all, some of you are on laptops and phones at the moment, aren't they? Because you need more than one thing to do. You can't be in this room, just in this room. So you get this other problem. So this group over here, traffic is getting quite congested in your town, especially on market days. Some people think it's a problem and it'll get worse. Could you just sort of think about that? You got the idea. Any of you worked on traffic problems in towns before? You'll be quite good at this then. Okay, this group, so it looks like the electricity to your offices will be cut off next Thursday and Friday. Some people are alarmed and are in crisis with this situation. You can imagine, can't you? Going, oh, they're going to cut electricity. What are we going to do? The computers will be switched off. Oh, no. That sort of, slight reaction. Okay, and then this group over here, the wheels on the new chairs in the IT department are still falling off when they're picked up. Some staff who have been injured think it's a defect that needs fixing permanently. You can imagine. It's pure coincidence you're IT people and it's from an IT department, but bear with it. Okay. And then this group, it is proposed to build an organic recycling facility next to a school. Some parents think it's inappropriate. So you can imagine some people have got terrible images of what an organic recycling will be like, and other people are saying, well, it'd be great for the kids. They'll find out about recycling. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is hand out some bits of paper. There's packs of 5 here. generally sort of 5 in a row. You might have to share some. I don't know if I've got enough. We'll start from here. So this group, no, okay. Doesn't deal in paper. That's impressive, isn't it? Sorry, one each, okay. Sorry, just sort of hand them out a bit. If there's not enough, then share them, okay? And if you really want to fill one in yourself, then we've got some spare paper here. And if you want pens, we've got that. So do you want them? They don't want them. Got one each? Got any spare ones? So if you've got one of these, if you look at the bottom, it says some problems, then you've been put in one of those groups, haven't you? A, B or C, and you could tick off. Sorry, they're 1, 2, 3 on here, but A, B or C will do. So you know which one you're in. Okay, so one of those little squares there, you tick it off with a pen, and then you start. Okay, you're getting nearly organised. Okay, and then you start writing things here. Okay, you got the pens? Now, this is on purpose. This is handwritten, okay? Right? And it's not electronic. So this is your piece of paper. You can put your name in the top. You take these away with you, okay? We sometimes do this as a survey. So at the top it's saying, are you male, female, or don't know? Are you 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or don't know? Are you from the UK or somewhere else, or don't know? See? But we're not going to use the survey this time. It's just the sheets, okay? So in this space here on the page, you can start to write ideas down for your problem, okay? Because you're bored with what I'm saying, and you might as well start thinking about this. So if we just take the wheels falling off the chairs in the yard, I'd have written down, get some parcel tape and tape them up. That's a sort of solves the problem, yeah? Did you have that one down? Did you have go into the finance department, pinch all their chairs and swap them for your broken chairs? And did you think of that one? So I want problem solving, okay? So you can start doing that. Well, you can start doing that if you want. You don't have to do it, because I'm going to talk to you about the talk. If you go on the back of these, you will see this list. If you turn the page over. These are the no thinking solutions. It's about thinking. So I imagine it's about 4:25 on a Friday. You're thinking of going home, or you're thinking of logging off or something like that for the weekend. Somebody comes to you with a problem. Maybe they physically come and stand by your desk. Maybe they send you a problem over the internet. And there's a couple of choices, aren't there, what you do. And on the back here it says you and others. Okay? And I'm expecting you to say, yeah, I know people who will do that, but I would never do it. So you say, yeah, that's very interesting. I'm going to add this problem to the to-do list. You would never do that, would you? Come on, I know it's Estonia, but come on, you'd never do that, would you? No. But you know people who do, don't you? Yeah. Okay, the second one, you ignore it. You just forget it. You go, yeah, interesting. You know, you'd never do that, would you? No. But you know people who do, don't you? Okay? A third one, register and report it. This is a very good point, you say. I will make a note of that, and that will go into next week's report. Yep. Write it down. And that's as far as it goes. Yeah? Now, you'd never do that, do you? But you know people who do, don't you? You reject it. You go, no, that's not a problem. No, or it's your problem. No, it's not my problem. Or you blame someone else, saying, yeah, that is a problem, but it's their problem over there. No. Huh? Or you assume others will resolve. So you say, yeah, well, it's 4:30. Have you told anybody else about this problem? And they say, yeah, we've told 3 or 4 other people, but they keep doing these things above the list. And you go, yeah, well, I'm sure they'll get round to it. And then it's 4:30 on Friday, and you're going on holiday next week, and you say, yeah, very interesting, and you go on holiday. You don't tell them you're going on holiday. Now, you'd never do that, would you? But you know people who do, don't you? So when it comes to problem solving, we've got to get rid of this stuff. Yep. We've got to work out what's really going on here, okay? What we can really apply. So, here's your list. And I'm going to explain to you what each one of these is. So I'm now here. Write down the problem. And there's 3 columns. Yes, that's a really good idea, Tom. I think I might use that sometime in the next 5 years, because I'm not going to see you for 5 years, so this talk has got to last you a long time. Maybe, or no, that is a stupid idea. I will never use that ever in my life. And I don't expect anybody else to use that as a problem-solving solution. Okay, so there's your 3 choices. You've got your pens. You tick them off as we go. So, I write down the problem as a question that needs an answer, as a problem that needs a solution. Maybe it's a crisis that needs resolution. But I write it down. I don't try and remember it. I don't write it as a word. I write it down as a full sentence. And then I read it. And you know what I do? I change it. And then I look at it the following day and I change it again until I get the problem written down in the proper way. Yep?
So does it apply to this particular problem in our hands?
No, because I want to forget about those problems I gave you. Okay, I want you to concentrate on this list now. You won't be able to stop yourselves thinking about the problem I gave you, because that's the nature of your... So you can play this either way, okay? You can either say, I will use Tom's ideas to solve my problem. What were you? Sorry, hold the card up. Electricity problem. You can either do it, I will use it for that, or you can say, I could use it for any of these 4 solutions. Because I bet you some of these will fit better than others. So let us just take all of you, okay? Could you write down the problem I gave you? The electricity problem. Could you write it down? Because the chances are I've given you 3 or 4 words there, haven't I? I've written them there and they're on the card. Electricity, offices cut off Thursday, Friday. Is that what it said on the screen? Right, now that we do this, okay, somebody shows us something and we write down something else that's not quite the same. In fact, what was written on the screen might not be quite right either, because it's come from somebody else. So, my first offer to you is, do you think it would help to write down the problem? Yes, no, maybe. Yes. Don't tell me it's secret. I suggest sometimes, in some occasion, in the next 5 years, you're going to use that. You're going to say to somebody, it might be you, you're going to say, I better write this problem down. Or you're going to say to somebody who's talking like this, could you write down the problem? And stop talking. Yeah? Or stop explaining it to me again another way. You know when somebody says, how do you do that? And they go, you do it like that. And you go, how did you do it? And they went, oh, no, they do it like that. And oh, you could do it like this, right? And they show you 3 or 4 different ways of going faster on a computer, right? And in the end you say, stop! Just show me one way, just write it down. Okay, next one. Ask someone else. In fact, ask 5 different people. What was your problem? Oh, your problem, chairs, wheels falling off chairs? Yeah, wheels falling off chairs over here. So what we do is you go round to people. Sorry, are the wheels really falling off these chairs? Have you had wheels falling off chairs? And you actually go and ask people. Yeah, you have. I know, I can see you have. You're the sort of person who would have that sort of problem. Right. So what we do, so I write down what they say. I don't just listen to what they say, I write it down again. So you said, we've had wheels falling off chairs for the last 5 years. It's never really been sorted. The accounts department have got wheels falling off. It's not just and we don't just listen, we write it down. And we think about their answers. And then we pick one. Oh, I like them. Or we pick none of them, because you realise you're asking the wrong question. So have you ever done that? I'm not trying to, I'm a project manager, I'm not trying to find the answers at this point. I'm just asking people. So could you do that? Is that an option? Is that what we call an arrow in your quiver? Is that a tool in your toolbox of ask someone else? And you see there's a telephone there, so I might ring them up, I might speak to them. But the one thing in this one is, it's one-on-one. Because the next one is, I facilitate a discussion group. That's a posh way of saying, I speak to a number of people at the same time. I add it to an existing meeting, or a forum, or a group. Do you have any other business type of things that might come up? And at that point you say, I'm glad you're all here because I've got this bit of a problem. The wheels keep falling off the chairs in the IT department. I know it's not a pure IT matter, and you use a forum or a group that already exists. Or there's a group that people that meet around a coffee machine or around that sort of, that sort of coffee point. And you purposefully go up to them and say, you got a minute, can I just talk to you about electricity being cut off? Now what happens in this situation, for me as a project manager, I don't try and lead it. I don't say to the group, I want to talk to you about electricity being cut off. And I was thinking of sending everybody on a 2-day training course at the local hotel. Sorry, had you written that one down? Had you thought of that one? You'd thought of it, hadn't you? Okay, you'd thought of that one, hadn't you? Yeah, okay. I don't impose my ideas. I actually sit back and say, what do you think? And sometimes they give me nothing. And I just leave it. And say, well, can I ask you tomorrow? And I think about it. So, and I brainstorm, if you like that word, or I mind map, or I just ask them. I ask for recommendations. So I'm actually looking for solutions. I don't just want people to say, yeah, the wheels are falling off in our department as well. And we've taken all the wheels off, so they don't roll around anymore. Sorry, did I give an answer away there? You were working on that one, weren't you? Take the wheels off. Yeah, sorry about that. Because some of you are writing ideas down in this area, aren't you? Well, if you're not writing them down, they're in your heads, aren't they? This traffic congestion, I was thinking maybe we could do a park and ride system. Do you think that? Yeah. Yeah, he's got it. He's already got it. You've got ideas. Next one. So, yes, no, maybe. Sensible and silly ideas. Some people don't like this. It sounds a bit dangerous. I'd like you to write down 5 sensible solutions, which are probably quite predictable, safe and dull. And then you write down, or at the same time, or whatever, 5 silly ideas. Solutions which are probably a bit off the wall, out of left field and a bit silly. So we'd actually do it. We say, write the problem down. And then we write sensible and silly. Off you go. Off you go. Give me an idea. Give me an idea. We'll write it down. Sometimes we're saying, no, can't agree which column to put it in, and we put it in the middle. Just a minute. After we've got 5 here and 5 there, or thereabouts, but they've dried up, what do you think happens? We discuss them. What do you think happens? Sorry, it's Estonia. What do you think happens?
Again, discussion about the proposed solution.
Yeah, they start talking about it, don't they?
Maybe not in Estonia.
And they don't, maybe not in Estonia, yeah. And they look at the 5 silly ones and some boring boss will say they're all silly, cross them off, and people say, whoa, hang on a minute. It's not that silly, mate. There's a gem in there, and some of these sensible ones are just too dull to consider. Yeah? Sorry, not in Estonia, you wouldn't. 5 years' time, remember, you could be doing this. It'd be 2020 by then. Anything could happen. I think that's going down as a maybe, with brackets, not within the next 5 years, for a purely Estonian situation. But come out of Estonia, wow. And some of you will be out of Estonia, because your project management here is quite good. You will travel. You will move. You'll have to. It's quite a small country. If you want to get on, you've got to move. Same with the Brits. You think 60 million people, there's got to be loads of jobs. There's just as many project managers leaving Britain because they can get good jobs elsewhere because they're qualified and competent and they know what they're doing. They're respected. Baltic countries are the same. The professional people here are well respected. You'll need some of these techniques when you're dealing with other countries, other cultures, other projects. Ask the originator. What about this idea? Find out who asked the question and raised the problem. Ask them to state it and explain it. Write it down, what they said, and agree it with them. So the electricity in the offices. Who's told us this? Where's this? Well, the receptionist we're in an office. Imagine we're in an office of 200 people, okay? You know, in a few floors, and the electricity is going to be cut. And it's arrived on your desk. You're the FM manager or the project manager or something like that. It's arrived. And you say, where did this come from? And they might say a couple of things. Well, it's come from the electricity company. I said, well, who in the electricity company? Well, our receptionist, they came in and told our receptionist on the front desk. What are you going to do? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. In Estonia, I don't know what you're going to do, right? I'd go and talk to the receptionist. I know it sounds a stupid idea, but I go and talk to the receptionist and I say, what was actually said and who said it? And they might say, well, a man who said he was from the electricity company came in and said something about cutting the electricity off on Thursday and Friday. And you say, did he say Thursday and Friday or Thursday or Friday? And she said, I don't know. I'm not sure. Right, what was his name? I don't know, but he had a moustache. And we try and track down the electricity company now, don't we? To find out. Sorry, do you mean this Thursday and Friday? Are you sure? So, what is the originator? We find out. These people who are doing the school and the organic, who wants to know? You know, where's this problem come from? Does it come from the head teacher? Does it come from the mayor? Does it come from the organic recycling company of Estonia? Close brackets. Now, is it rude for us to say, can I meet the originator? Now, in Britain, sometimes it is. They say, well, the managing director's asked it. You can't go and ask them. And sometimes I say, but somebody's got to. Somebody's got to. And I say to my boss, you go and see them. And they go, no, it's all right, you can go. Yeah? So is it a situation where you want to ask the originator? Yep. And agree it, write it down, and agree it with them. So sometimes I've been to see the manager and director, and I said, what is this problem we've got? So what's this problem about wheels falling off in the IT department? I'm talking to the managing director about it. And he said, yeah, those furniture suppliers, I hate them. We got, let's beat them up. Oh, I'm fed up with them, sort of thing. And I say, can I write this down? So it's not about chairs and wheels and IT department, it's about getting even with the furniture company, is it? Yeah, it is, he says. So I said, well, give us some more evidence then. I'll fix the problem good and proper, not just the chairs. He said, well, we had that problem last year with those desks. The drawers wouldn't open properly. I said, what happened? He said they had to take them all back and bring them back again at their cost. Well, let's do the same again. Yeah? So do we want to go to the originator? Yeah. Is that strong enough for you? Okay? Is that, it might take some balls, as we say, it might take some courage, might take some time. Managing director will see you in 2 weeks' time. No, this electricity's been cut off this week. And who needs to know the answer? So the electricity company, right, do they need to know the answer of what we're going to do? So what were you thinking? Were you thinking we try a non-electricity day in the office and we try to make everybody bring a candle in and some paper and pens, right, or make them all work at home, or give them 2 days off but tell them to come in on Saturday and Sunday for no extra money? So are these the sort of solutions? Sensible? Silly? Right? I don't know what they are, but we're trying to find an answer, aren't we? We are creative. Sorry, I'm talking to them. We are creative. Yeah? I can see your brains just, I know, the food's inside you, it's making energy, isn't it? I can see it, So find out who needs to know the answer. So if the electricity, who needs to know the answer? Well, it's not the electricity company. They couldn't give us stuff what we're going to do on Thursday and Friday. It's what? It's the HR department. It's the IT department. We talked to the IT department before when their wheels were falling off the chairs, and they explained that there was this standby generator facility, and you could plug in. You could go and hire a standby generator and plug it in, and it would do the whole building. Have we got one? No, we have to hire it. We've got 2 days. Could we hire one? So is that on your list? Standby generation. Should be, shouldn't it? Could be. Wasn't. Right? Who needs to know? The people in the purchasing department or the people who look after mechanical and electrical services to make sure we get the right generator, it's plugged in at the right time, it's tested, it works, and when they shut the electricity off, we're sorted. With nobody in the office even noticing. Never mind telling them we might be sending them home, we might be sending them on courses, we might be asking them all to bring a candle in. We didn't even mention any of that. Find the history. This electricity being cut off. Has it ever happened before? Yep. Yeah, it happens about every 3 weeks. For the last 6 months, because they're doing this big development on the other side of the road, and they have to keep cutting it off because they're making electricity supplies to that. Oh, really? So what happened last time? This organic recycling plant next to a school, has this ever happened in the country before? Yeah, this is one of 12 that's going in across the whole of Estonia. Oh, really? Are any of them next to schools? Well, one of them's next to school, 2 of them are next to town halls, 3 of them are next to hospitals. Right, so what's the pattern? So we're not on our own. All these problems that we ever have been come up before, haven't they? They've been solved. Well, I don't know if they have been solved. They've been tackled before. Have we ever had wheels falling off chairs? Yeah, all the bloody time. What did we do last time? We ring them up. And they come and collect them. How long? It takes them about a fortnight. What do? We put parcel tape around them to stop them falling off in the meantime. What is the history, yeah? You're in IT, aren't you, a lot of you? It's been around a while, hasn't it? You've done it before, haven't you? No, somebody has. Right, so what is the history? And was it, the best one we had was, we gave somebody a problem, we asked them what the solution was. They told us the solution, we went off and did it. I saw them about 6 weeks later. I said, we rang those people up and told them that we were very unhappy with their chairs or whatever, and they didn't do anything. And they said, yeah, same happened to us. So you know, so you actually have to know the solution works. Was it correct? What happened? Yes? No? Maybe? Tick? Cross? You look to the future. Is this electricity going to get cut off again? Well, yeah, this is the first time, but they say to us, whilst they're doing this development on the other side of the road, this could happen several times in the next 12 months. So we're not trying to fix one problem for this week. There's a bigger issue. So we look at a bigger solution. We could send everybody away for 2 days training just this once, but we're not going to be doing that every month for the next 12. We've got to find a bigger, better solution to suit the pattern. These chairs and the wheels falling off in the IT department, yeah, we've gone and ordered another 350 for the rest of the company. Same chair, yeah, same chair. We were just testing it in IT. That sort of pattern. Is this worth knowing? All we have to do is ask. Find out when the answer is needed. Have any of you had an inquiry for services for your business or to make a proposal? And it finally arrives on your desk and somebody says, we've got 8 weeks. And you look at the email or whatever and you say, this email's dated 5 weeks ago. There's actually only 3 weeks left. Has that ever happened to you? Anybody? Could you imagine that happening? You know, it goes round, a letter. So when is the answer really needed? The halve it and double it is just what we as managers do. So if somebody says, you've got 5, it's Monday, here's the problem. I need an answer by Friday. Then we say, so what happens if we ask them for a week, tell them it'll be a week on Friday, and what happens if we say it'll be this Wednesday? Could we do it this Wednesday? Because sometimes we make the work fit the period. So if they give us a week, we think, well, we'll do a letter. They say, give us a month, we think it's a report, and then we struggle to do a report. So when is the answer required? This problem with the electricity, Thursday, Friday, it's no good saying at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, we found the solution. You think about it, we've got to do it quicker than that. Yeah? We want this report, that's a big report that's going about the school and the recycling, to go to the mayor's office or the school governors or something like that. We know they've got to have it a week before the meeting to put into the papers to be circulated to the, you know, that sort of stuff? Yep, happens here, does it? All the time. So what is the real date? And sometimes people say to us Monday, Tuesday, can you give me the answer on Friday? And I say to them, you can have the answer right now. Because the rest of my week is booked, and I'm not going to see these people we need to consult. If you want a reaction, I'll give you a reaction. Here's the answer. On any of yours problems, I could do that. And sometimes they say to me, okay, I hear what you say, but could you think about it and come back to us on Friday? And I say, okay, but it probably won't be much different. And then I contact them on Friday, and I tell them what I told them on Tuesday. Word for word. Because if I was to give them some other answer, it looked like my first answer wasn't honest, wasn't thought about. But quite often my first answer, the gut answer, is the right answer. Because sometimes the people asking me this question are asking it for the first time in their lives. And I've dealt with questions like this many, many times. And so have you. Or if you haven't personally, you've seen other people. And have you ever provided an answer early to see what they do with it? This guy who said, it's Monday, can you give me the answer Friday? I say, what's happening on Friday? He said, I'm going away on holiday on Friday. I said, well, why do you need the answer? You're going away for 2 weeks, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going away 2 weeks. So why don't you give us 2 weeks and then we'll come up with more review. Oh, well, I'd be happier going on holiday if I knew there was an answer. To which we say, okay, we'll give you an answer, and then when you come back, we might give you another answer. Yep. That when stuff is really important. Now, should we sort that out before we start being creative? That's what I'm saying. All these things are to stop me mobilizing my team and giving them the problem. Like I dumped the problems on you, your 4 problems, 20 minutes ago. In each case, you could be throwing back using one of these things. So each group, each person in the group could say, so when do you want to know the answer? Who needs to know the answer? Is that the right problem you've given me? Has this ever occurred before? You could be asking me all that, couldn't you? And I'd have to give you answers. Otherwise, you could use your team to creatively come up with things, and it would be a complete and utter waste of time. Agreed? Because on the electricity, I've spoken to the electrical guy, and he says they're going to cut off the electricity on Thursday or Friday for 20 minutes between 7 and 7:30 in the morning. Yeah? That fits the description, doesn't it? Right? And we'd already booked this hotel for 2 days training, and we'd ordered 250 candles for people to work at it, because we'd got the wrong problem. Yeah? Sorry, picking on them, but it applies to you guys as well. Yeah? This recycling centre next to the school is planned for 15 years' time. And who's complaining? Parents. Parents of who? Parents of pupils at the school. Take the pupils out, which they'll be gone, certainly gone. Who's going to be complaining then? Or do they feel as strongly now they know it's in 15 years' time? Because that's how long it takes these recycling plants to get up and running. And yep. What are we up to? 10. Keep going. 5 minutes to go.
No, right. Let's make a break.
Oh, sorry, break. Sorry, break time. Sorry, we're at the time. Okay, break for 5 minutes. So, because you'll all come back, I hope. No.